everyone, and we go on our educational videos series. During today's video, we'll modify our existing demo example so it outputs an IFC file with a column element. As a reminder, the diagram that we created during the previous video. Our today's goal is to implement two new additional steps: appending the prerequisites for column creation and appending the column element itself. Today's changes do not require any changes in the project settings. They also don't require any additional include directives. All the changes will be the changes in the very code of the demo applications. Okay, and let's move on with the changes. We take our demo from the previous videos as a base and start with the appending of the geometric representation context entity. We create the entity and assign its attributes. Please pay attention that we assign the attribute world system coordinate to the value of the axis to placement 3D entity. Next, let us create the IFC project entity. Please pay attention to its attributes. The first one, global ID, we generate this attribute. And also, IFC project accepts the unit assignment entity as an attribute. That means that units only from this assignment may be used in the scope of this project. And finally, we create the column entity. Similar to project, it should have a global ID attribute. And in the same way, we generate and assign it. We also create one more auxiliary entity to establish the relations between IFC project and our column element. Actually, it's not that correct to put our column directly into the project and establish direct relations, but we do it so in our demo example just for simplification purposes. Next, let us move to the column geometry. First, we create the circle profile definition that defines the profile of our column with its radius. Next, we create an extruded solid area and object and use our profile definition to form, in other words, to extrude our column. Next, we create a shape representation entity and reference our extruded solid. In other words, we just bind the extruded solid with the geometric representation context that we created before for this model. And next, we take this shape representation and assign it to a new entity that is product definition. And this product definition will be assigned as an attribute to our column. Now let us build the modified example, and after it is successfully built, let us run it. After we get the notification that file is successfully created, let us open our newly created IFC file in Notepad. As you see, we have new entities. Everything as expected. IFC project, the column entity, and other auxiliary ones. As you see, they reference other entities, but everything as expected as we actually did this. So everything is correct. Let's close the Notepad. Now let us open the newly created IFC file in Open IFC Viewer. And as you see, we have a column element right on our screen. We can rotate, zoom in, do whatever. So, okay, that's all. During our next video, we'll introduce several improvements to the structure of our IFC file, but for today that's it, and thank you very much for watching and goodbye.